we are looking now in the short term. Here's the scenario that we see unfolding. Before we get to the riots and the tax revolts and the increasing crime, which is already beginning to happen.
Oh, yeah.
What we're going to see is after we think the real breakdown is going to begin in February. That's our forecast. Because in February, we're going to now realize the shock of what has happened from a disappointing is putting it lightly, Christmas holiday retail season.
And you think the Obama, hope will fade by then as well?
Yes, for a lot of people. It's going to fade for the people that have lost everything. For example, as I said, Citicorp today announced they're laying off 50,000 people. You go to all of these places around the country, like the Carolinas, we had Wachovia, Wachovia, and all these banking centers, financial centers, people living in their McMansions and having these huge mortgages. I mean, they're going to become boarding houses as they try to get people in there so they could pay the rent and pay the taxes and pay the utilities. So we're going to see people out on the streets. You know, these things called self-storage units, they're going to take on the true meaning. Cells are going to be storing themselves in there because they're not going to be, it's better than living in a tent as these tent cities are sprouting up all over the country, or sleeping out in the streets, or sleeping in a homeless shelter. So we think it's going to be February because the real data is going to come in to show how really bad this is. Having said that, there's still going to be the element of hope that Obama is going to be able to do something, and being that they're painting him as an FDR and cloaking him in that mantle, get ready for a bank holiday. Because we're going to see runs on the banks that are going to come that they're not going to be able to cover them anymore. And I love the terminology, Alex, that they use, holiday, they make it sound so beautiful. That means you're not going to get your money out of the bank. And they're going to say, don't worry, it's FDIC insured, but you just can't get it out all at once. So we are also in that camp, by the way, that we are going to see, even though it doesn't look like it now because of a variety of manipulations going on, we believe that gold is going to go into the 2,000 range, and we're going to see periods of deflation whereby all those homes out there are going to be worth a lot less than they are now, and there's a glut of product everywhere, deflationary prices on one end and hyperinflation on the other. As I mentioned with February, because once all these retail outlets start closing, as we're already seeing with Circuit City, with Starbucks, it's going to be a glut of commercial real estate, and that's the next shoe to fall.
All right, long segment coming up. I want to break down that over the next few years, what he thinks government's response will be to this, why he thinks it will push the people into open rebellion. Our guest is Gerald Celente. I'm Alex Jones. Our website's Infowars.com.